Fly fishing the Gibbon River, while sharing similarities with its sister the Firehole, navigating geyser basins and colorful volcanic springs, offers solitude and the opportunity to fish less pressured waters. The headwaters that form the Gibbon River emerge from the center of Yellowstone National Park as a woodland and meadow creek fed by waters from Greb Lake and Wolf Lake, waters that offer the rare opportunity to fly fish for native Arctic grayling and Westslope cutthroat trout. The river then enters a deep canyon, starting with the scenic Virginia Cascades and emerging once again as a meadow stream to traverse the Norris Geyser Basin, home to Steamboat Geyser, the world's highest active geyser. The river then passes through Elk Park and Gibbon Meadows before once again entering a canyon renowned for viewing the 80-foot Gibbon Falls and colorful volcanic springs. Leaving Gibbon Canyon, the river meanders and winds through a beautiful valley populated by elk and bison to join the Firehole River, headwaters now for the Madison River, and an area popular in late September when large brown trout travel up from Hebgen Lake and Reservoir to spawn. And then there are the trophy-sized brown trout, reputed to hide in the banks of the Gibbon as it gently meanders through Elk Park and Gibbon Meadows. And while I was tempted to test my skills in Gibbon Meadows, I chose to fish in Gibbon Canyon for no other reason than my having seen this picture of a person fly fishing in the oxygen-rich waters at the base of Gibbon Falls. I had to try to get down in there.
Well, this is the Gibbon River, and fishes very differently. You can see a lot of runs, things like that. So I'll probably be checking it out for some pools moving up, but just got here and I thought I would just try out this one section over here, and we'll see how it goes.
It's hard to resist throwing a few casts, but I have a short hike ahead of me and it's time to move upriver.
Well, I was thinking of going all the way up and fishing right at Gibbon's Falls, but you know, I'm going to try this little area here. Looks promising, and if I'm really not catching anything here, it may not be worth heading all the way up to Gibbon's Falls, because it looks like a lot of these lodgepole pine trees that have fallen down during the forest fires are really just absolutely cluttering up the path. In fact, I even decided to step into the water and to get around some of them. And clearly walking on the other side is not an option. So let's try fishing here. And so I've got on a little attractor. Oh, the wind is murder. Whoops, let that breeze go by.
Attractor flies are large, high-floating, and easy to see, and they can be effective in fast-moving water. But I like to use them as a search pattern to solicit trout, especially in areas where you might not otherwise see activity. I want to know where the trout are before investing my time, especially when I see pools like the ones I'm seeing ahead of me.
The wind is murder, though.
Clearly the wind becomes a factor in casting accurately, with a big fluffy attractor fly on the end of your line.
I'm getting some drifts that I want. And every once in a while I let it go down to the tail in case somebody's interested. Ooh, wind just took that one. Use the wind to dry off my fly. I want to get into that corner so I can maneuver over there.
It was time to move up to the head of the pool and cut back on the amount of line I was casting.
Ooh, one almost came up and took it. No, he took a look at it. So we know there's fish here, right at the head of this pool. Looked like a nice size too. Ooh. Well, they're biting right here.
The attractor fly did its job. I now know that there are trout here and where they are.
Okay, so I'm going to try something a little different. We know I got a couple of fish in this pool. Okay, so I had a little dark-winged caddis crawling on my sleeve here, so I decided I wouldn't abandon the dry fly just yet, and I'm going to try this little caddis with a little dark hair on it.
I first target what I believe to be the larger of the two trout.
Oh! Took a swipe at it.
The wind then blows my fly over to the smaller of the two trout.
Oh, I got one. Oh boy, I got one. A big one. Sorry about that, folks. That is not a big fish. Wonder what it is. All right. Is it a trout? No, it's a little... Wet my hands here a bit. God, it looks like a little brown trout. You see that? Looks like a little brown trout maybe, huh? In you go. Well, that little fly definitely worked, but boy, he's messed up now. Okay, so the wind's at my back, and when it's not blowing really hard, I'm getting some nice visibility right into this water, so I'm going to try that. I'm going to start here with the tail a little bit, and then work my way back up to where those fish were.
My casting from the other side of the pool didn't pay off, so I decided to give the pool a rest and moved up to the next pool.
Okay, so I'm going to try this golden stonefly that I tied up. It's got foam, it's got some little rubber legs to it.
I moved up to the next pool using my golden stonefly as an attractor pattern and first started casting to the tail of the pool.
See, I'm just fishing this little seam because if there's trout here that are interested, they'll be right on the edge watching this stuff go by in the fast current, and they'll dab up and grab it. That's the idea. Oh, almost had him. Well, there's definitely fish here. I just tied on a little smaller fly, little black caddis again, with a little lighter color wing. And let's just take a look at this pool. Maybe that other fly was just a little too big. I'm not ready to go to nymphs yet. I swear they're missing the hook. Seeing aggressive rises at it, but they're just not touching it. Or maybe at last minute they're avoiding it. I don't know.
It didn't matter how many times I cast the same fly. After the trout's first attempt, there was never a second. Until I changed flies. It's fun to get schooled like this. It becomes a challenge. And I was getting schooled. While I was casting, I started to notice some salmon flies dabbing around on the water, so I thought maybe I'd give that a try.
Okay, so what I'm going to try is I get this big honkin', it's probably like a size 8, it's not that big, but you know, salmon fly that I tied up the other day, some rubber legs and everything, and then about, I don't know, 18-20 inches down below that, because that seems to be, I probably could go a little bit lower. I've got a little tiny bead head, sort of like a caddis emerger sort of thing. Nothing special, no flash or anything in it. But so let's just see what happens. Oh, someone tried to go for the stonefly. Why don't these fish hook up? Boy, it feels like there's like one fish in here, and once he doesn't take it, he doesn't go for it a second time. One fish to a pool. So let's see. I'm gonna try to cast around this rock and hopefully not snag up my line. Need some line out.
This is actually characteristic of wild trout. Unlike stock trout that grow up rubbing shoulders with each other, wild trout are or can be more territorial.
Oh, I'm probably going to lose my line if I try this too aggressively. The wind and all. Oh, get out of there. No! I knew that was going to happen. Well, I'm going to try a couple more of these little pools. It's right up next to the Gibbon Falls. I'm not going to go all the way up there. These look promising, and I tied on my big golden stonefly because I'm getting tired of just trying all sorts of different things and not being successful and having them miss. And I might as well just throw something out there that I can see, right? But I lost my big stonefly. I mean, my big salmon fly, which is unfortunate. Ooh, something's got biting over there. Just saw a nice rise. Okay, so I've got a little mayfly spit with a nice little sparkle in it, and let's just see if that attracts them. Something. Wind is a killer. Always seems to be blowing against me. Now that's what. Ooh, I got one. I was gonna say that fly was just right where I've been fishing them. Well, let's see what it is. Doesn't look big. It's like a brown trout. Yeah, it's a brown trout. Been catching brown trouts all quite some time now. There you go. Well, at least I caught two small brown trout on this river. It's not known for big. It's not known for big trout, you know. So I may be catching the monsters for all we know. And a little sparkle helped. We should go try like the lower pools where I was unsuccessful before. All right, another nice looking pool. I'll try my little magic spent. I'm gonna try a couple of spots that look like they might be fishy. Oh, I just saw a rise right over here. The wind will let me get in there. Right in those little seams. That should be the one. Okay, not gonna go for him, huh?
Keep an eye on the upcoming blue box. I'm so distracted by a salmon fly landing next to me that I never saw the trout strike at my fly.
Another one of those big flies just went buzzing by. Big stone flies. Ooh, one just landed. Let's see what that is if we can. I saw it fly right into here. Let's see, where are you, buddy? Did it fly out? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Looked like about a size 8. There's another one. Whew. Oh, they're laying eggs is what they're doing. Wish I hadn't wasted my big stonefly back there, huh? I should check to see what I have as an equivalent. Throw it on. I must have something. Okay, so I tied on one of the gaudiest flies I have, and a good floater is this royal wulff. And we'll see how it goes. It's also got great visibility. I don't know if you're able to see it on a GoPro camera, but get some line out. If you can see that, it's pretty obvious, huh? Oh, somebody wanted to take a bite out of it. I think the fish might be too small for this guy, though. But hey, it's fun teasing him, right? Ooh, another one took a big bite out of it. These fish are too small. Well, somebody might get hooked.
As I mentioned earlier, I questioned if the trout were missing my flies or spitting them out. What I'm about to do is show the trout strike at my large, high-floating fly, frame by frame, and then offer an explanation along with a recommendation for a fly pattern to consider using in this section of the Gibbon River. As I zoom in and slow down each frame at the moment of impact, my fly appears to have been pushed away by the force the fish creates on the water in its rapid rise. Possibly the inexperience of a young trout, where older and larger trout simply rise and either gulp or sip the fly into their mouth. The other possibility is the trout tried to drown the fly with a splash from its tail as it then circled and made its second attempt, also a clear miss. Which is why I believe my spent mayfly pattern with its sparkle wings ended up being so effective. This fly pattern floats in the water's surface film. It doesn't float high on the top of the water, and it isn't easily pushed away by aggressive young trout. After my camera's battery died, I tied on my spent mayfly pattern and headed back down the canyon, catching trout in the earlier pools I had fished. That spent mayfly with sparkle wings did end up being my magic fly, and I highly recommend it to anyone fishing this river.